Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today we have ourselves a review for a track named Asphyxias Depth Wide from VADER 2.0, a band that I'm intimately familiar with at this point. I've reviewed quite a bit of their music. If we switch over to here, we've got human beings will find that their hubris is their undoing. We are indifferent to the plight of others. We chose to be willfully dense, which we refuse. Think for ourselves, and we will ride the bandwagon to popularity and not stand up for what is right because it takes too much effort. Yeah, so it's pointing out some of the hypocrisy that goes on between human beings and how we communicate with each other. And that's all right. I mean, it's not okay that people behave like this, but what I mean is I understand why it's being said. The politician, we think that the only way is our way. The politicians we vote for put their party in power before the people. We would rather record our neighbors' trouble than help them rise from it. We make martyrs of victimizers, manipulators, and opportunists, and then persecute and prosecute the innocent. We are victims of ourselves purposefully, but not all of us are prisoners of perfect contentment while we watch others suffer because of our inaction. Yeah, some people do try and make positive changes and improve things. So it'll be interesting to see what take we take with the song. We're going to listen to this track from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. Oh, a bit of vinyl sizzle there with the way that the guitar has been filtered is kind of dope, eh? I like it. It's pretty cool. Asphyxias Depth. Cool. Depth. Asphyxias Depth. By VADER 2.0. Again, we've got those signature low-tuned guitars with the bass. Yeah, okay, I'm familiar with the tonality. This is cool. So we've got it's very menacing tonality to this track overall so far with the distorted guitars. There's a sort of a sense of dissonance and a great amount of tension within the composition of this track. It's crazy how high he can get with those like kind of screamy kind of vocals there. It's pretty wild. Again, I've commented on VADER's vocal technique before. It's pretty stunning. It's great. It's great to hear that consistency and the quality of the recordings. Like for that delivery to be that clear as well when we're sort of pronouncing those words that quickly with that technique. In the high and low registers kind of forming a harmony there. That's not an easy thing to do. That's solid vocal technique. Well done. And the guitar, bass, and drums are very supportive of this. I'm loving the story that's being told here. Obviously, it's not particularly positive, but I think it's a worthwhile tale to be told. You know, like when we're talking about heaven being so far away while still drifting through hell, that evokes interesting imagery there. It's engaging. It's great to have the lyrics on the screen to read through as well. Rewritten destiny is a castaway surrender. Damn, man, these are interesting lyrics. Really make you think. It's great that we've got this vocabulary within this track, you know. Again, like there's not a huge amount of like we're sticking within that range for the rhythm guitar parts here. We don't have a whole lot of high melodies here. I think just because there's maybe not a push towards those. You know, like I think we've got a guitar potentially playing some of those bow kind of chords there in the middle range of like an 8-string or something like that, whilst the rhythm's playing those really down-tuned chugs and like the open lowish sharp strings. We must descend from that counterproductive descent. Damn, man. That's cool. Again, like it's just trying to like sort of give a a way of avoiding a lot of the issues that people had that are described within the song. I'm glad that we're being in that position, or at least the vocalist is in that position to kind of motivate people to go beyond what's the current occurrence and to kind of improve themselves and better themselves. I think, if this music was just talking about how terrible everything was, it'd be a shame. But, because, VADER 2.0 is well good enough to be able to, motivate people in a non-cheesy, non-kind of patronizing way to do better for themselves in a way that's kind of weirdly wholesome. I really dig that.
We're not in a good place. Below this surface, I see.
It's nice to just hear the guitar, the bass, and the vocals like this without the drums. That's power, man. Like, to have that change of pace and to give it a chance just to kind of not, like, to let this ambience wash over you.
Mirrored in my face. There is no hope and no purpose. And a great maw calls to me, inviting me back down. You see, we've created this beast that's swallowing us. Now are screaming.
Damn, man, that's so horrific, comparing this sort of like confusion and this sort of awfulness, this downward pressure to not improve the situation, to the sea going upon you and weighing you down, and getting the person to say, hey, getting the people listening to say, no, seriously, you can get out of this situation if you want to. You've just got to get your head above water and give it all you've got. I think that's fantastic messaging. That's really dope. And again, it seems authentic. Just as well, like you had like a really nice vocal sizzle to the spoken section, and then you have the increase in volume, whether that's automated or not, with the vocals in the center, and then the high parts, they surround you with the guitars and the drums and everything like that. It's just such a heavy reintroduction to this chorus section. Damn, reach out, or complacency is a graveyard for our minds. Heavy stuff, man, heavy hitting. Like, I mean that genuinely as well. Like, because even one of these sentences, if you really think about it, is enough to say, yeah, actually, I agree with that. Again, the lyrics are making you think. It's stuff that I think it's symbolic of just the fact that a lot of people, they just really struggle with critical thinking now. Because it can be scary to go against what other people around you believe. But it's so vitally important. I'm not quite sure what that boom is, whether that's like a synth string or if that's a guitar effect or something like that. But it really goes to show the level of production value we have within this track. That additional layer there, in addition with we've got like 3 chords that the rhythm guitars are bouncing between. Well, not really bouncing. It's just sounds huge. There's such a massive tone to this track. The guitars sound huge. They've been recorded really well. The drums are nice and punchy, whether they're acoustically recorded or they're a mix of acoustic and samples. I'm not quite sure. Either way, it's fine. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, again, as I said in the previous review I did for VADER 2.0, these guys are in a place now where I think they're able to release an EP or an album. And I really hope they're able to. They've got these messages like about, like not being a betrayer of the people who are with you and not betraying them. And you've got this one talking about how you need to continue to fight for the right to be able to get out of the ocean and stop being drowned in your own sort of like just the awfulness of the situation. There's messages there of hope, of improving lives and avoiding the kind of the BS that comes with everyday society. Like we talked about that stuff in the intro for the video. Again, like the drums, like some of the drum parts were technically very, very, very difficult, but they suited so well. There were little changes of pace. Like if we compare 2 different sections, right? Again, like, it's, and then we put it with this part. Again, you have like 2 or 3 main sections here. I think this is maybe through composed, is it? This track could be through composed. There could have been A, B, A, B, and the outro being a C or something like that. It'd be cool to hear like a guitar solo or something like that on one of these tracks, if we haven't heard one already. I'm kind of tired at the moment, so I'm struggling to sort of like remember certain things, but it'd be cool to hear a guitar solo on one of these. Like, but I suppose as well, like certain genres of music and certain bands, those guitar solos, you know, we put them in the backbench, and that's fine. But just like we hear some like really interesting vocal parts, and don't get me wrong, the vocals being the focal of a mix is fantastic, especially when this kind of story is being told. The kind of messages like this. But just yeah, it'd be great to hear the guitarist kind of explore the fretboard a little bit more and put some stuff like in the upper ranges, like maybe like at the end outro chorus or like during the interlude or something. Or I guess the thing at the end of the day is though is that I'm starting to get used to how VADER 2.0 sounds now. I'm still interested in what they have to say. They're managing to give each track they put out a unique identity, and that's what matters, right? But yeah, definitely time for an EP or album or something like that. It's go time. It's go time. They're in a, I know that it's tricky as well because typically you want to sort of like do like live shows or events for like EPs and albums, and a lot of places are still kind of closed down because of reasons. But yeah, I think the live sound for an album like this would be just massive. I don't know if VADER 2.0 have done any live shows recently, but I think they'd just be phenomenal to hear them live. What else do I want to say about this? I'm not really sure what else I want to say about this track. I read through the lyrics, you know. We've talked about the meaning behind a song, my interpretation of it. We've talked about the vocal quality and how it's good to have the harmonized high and low growly vocals there. We've talked about the guitar lines. The bass is very well hidden in the mix. Like, you can hear that there's a bass guitar in there. But I think because of how low tuned the guitar is, you get more of a sub bass resonance with the bass guitar because that's probably going down to like a 6-string or something like that. So you don't hear it maybe, like, especially if it's supporting the root notes on the guitar chords, it's kind of going to be in that low area anyways. So I think that's fine. And again, just I'm glad they had those kind of synth ambient parts added on as layers, like in that interlude section in the middle of the spoken part. Yeah, well done. That was it. This was effectively my review of VADER 2.0 though. I think part of the strength of these guys is that they don't make the guitar parts and the harmonies super duper complicated, because I think it would maybe distract from the messages they're trying to tell. Again, as the vocals are being the main focal point of the mix. Again, these guys are clearly onto it. They're putting lyrics in their videos, like for lyric videos, so that it's easy for people to understand what's going on. The art that's shown within the video is pretty neat as well. I really hope these guys can go somewhere with the music. I really hope they continue to grow as an act, and I hope they continue to find an audience. But if you enjoyed this music from VADER 2.0, please do go check out their various social media pages and YouTube, and please stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on. And I guess as a final comment on this song, it goes to show how far you can go if you have the core fundamentals down of like a really tight rhythm, a stylistic cohesive like tonality in terms of the harmonies and the vocals, and you keep within that 3 minutes, because this is a hell of a single, and I really hope they continue to make more like this. Spider hands up.